Hello, everyone. It's Mrs. Roberts again. I have a new story that I wrote for you, and it has to do with Halloween. So I brought along a little pumpkin just to get us in the mood. Today's story is called Old Kate and the Most Memorable Halloween. But kids, what I want you to do for most of this story is visualize the characters and the setting as I'm reading. And all that means is, as I'm reading, you're going to just be thinking what the characters look like, what the setting looks like, and just enjoy it like a little movie in your head. And every once in a while, I will show you a picture. But this is more for listening. Okay, here we go. By the way, welcome to my kitchen. Okay, Old Kate and the Most Memorable Halloween. It was almost Halloween. The nights were getting cooler and it was getting darker earlier in the day. Carm and Lil were starting to wear their heavy sweaters. October had started out warm, but now the weather was changing and a cold front was coming in quickly. The girls were not looking forward to the cold nights. Their small town of Coopersville was quaint and friendly. The girls loved biking around the village and stopping for candy and other snacks at a local deli. The deli was simply known as Kate's. There were 2 small tables in the deli where the girls could sit and play cards. The woman behind the counter had to be at least 80 years old or more. They simply called her Old Kate. Her salt and pepper hair was always piled atop her head, and the nails on her arthritic fingers were always painted bright cherry red. So arthritic fingers, kids, is when you start to get older and you get a little trouble with your hands. They start to get sore. That's what arthritis is. But her nails were always kept perfect, bright cherry red. But she was the friendliest sort. The girls were so happy to spend time with her during the hot summer days, drinking iced tea or Coke and eating snacks. The old woman never complained about the time the girls spent in the deli. And on slow days, she would even tell them stories about her farm and the history of Coopersville. I want to show you a quick picture of how I visualized the deli. So here's the picture of the deli, Old Kate's, and it is fall. So it's getting close to Halloween. Now that it was fall, the girls were less and less to see Old Kate. Usually, they would have biked over to the deli on a Saturday and some nights after school. But now that it was getting dark earlier, not so much. Sunday was Kate's day of rest, a day for her to stay home on her farm just outside of town. The girls never thought of Kate having a life outside of the deli, and they never biked outside the village limits. So they had never seen her real home. Well, Halloween came on a Saturday this particular year. The village children were so happy to have the day off from school. Friday had been full of fun activities, cupcakes, candy during class, and now everyone had time to get ready for trick-or-treating. Carm and Lil had put baskets on the front of their bikes, and they lined them with plastic bags, ready for a big haul of candy. They knew stop number 1 was gonna be Kate's Deli. Old Kate would smile and then pull out 2 gigantic Hershey bars from under the counter. And then she would even serve them hot cider. Carm was dressed as an alien this year, but she looked more like a green Pillsbury Doughboy. It was so cold that she needed to wear her down coat under her costume. Lil, too, had some costume problems. She had wanted to be a deli pickle, but ended up looking more like an olive with her heavy jacket on. In the end, she donned a red beret to give it a Spanish olive look. So here it is, kids. This is how I visualize these 2 girls. One of them, she wanted to be just an alien, but with her down jacket, she looked like a Pillsbury Doughboy that was green. And the other girl, she wanted to be a pickle, but she ended up looking like an olive with that heavy jacket on. So she put the little red cap on to make her look more like an olive. The girls pedaled toward the store, laughing and talking about the route they would take to bring in the best haul of candy. They knew which houses gave out 1 piece of candy and which houses gave out handfuls. They pulled up in front of the deli with their youthful excitement when they noticed the sign on the door, "Closed." They stood there straddling their bikes. They had never known Kate to close early, especially on Halloween. Finally, Carm spoke. Where could she be? I hope our old Kate is all right. Maybe she took ill and needs our help. Maybe nobody knows and she's all alone, Lil said. Carm giggled and said, maybe she broke one of her red fingernails. Lil smirked at Carm. Aw, come on, I'm serious. I think we should ride out to her farm and check on her. But we've never been out there, and it's getting dark, Carm squealed. Oh, it can't be that far. Please, old Kate has always been so nice to us. Let's see if we can find her farm, Lil pleaded. Carm finally gave in. Well, it is a full moon, so maybe we'll be able to find it easily. But I hope you know we're going to miss out on all the best candy. The girls headed out of town toward old Kate's farm. There was no traffic, so all the girls could hear were the night sounds. An animal would scurry into the bushes, making them jump. The wind would start to blow. Ooh, and the corn stalks would start to rattle. An owl even started hooting from an ancient maple tree that lined the road. Ooh, ooh, who cooks for you? The moon was so big and so bright that eventually they saw Kate's farm through the maple trees in the distance. They saw something else too. There was someone in the cornfield. The girl's eyes became as round as the moon. Carm and Lil pulled off to the side of the road. They parked their bikes, quietly putting the kickstands down. Who do you think is out there in the cornfield? It can't be Kate. Whoever that is surely is a lot taller than Kate, Lil whispered. Carm agreed and whispered back, do you think we should call out and see if they know old Kate? And ask why they're out in the field at this time of night? Yeah, I was wondering that myself, Lil nodded. The girls headed toward the stranger in the field. But the stranger didn't move or speak. Lil finally decided it was time to say something. Hey you! You out in the field! Who are you? And what are you doing? The stranger continued to just stare at them. And he wouldn't say a word. Carm decided it was time to find Kate. Let's get to the farmhouse. This guy is freaking me out. Both girls ran as fast as they could manage in their costumes. Back to the bikes. They were no longer cold. As a matter of fact, they were sweating. They quickly pedaled to the farmhouse. They tossed their bikes aside and they ran to the porch and started pounding on old Kate's door. Kate, Kate, they yelled. Are you all right? Please let us in. The door swung open and there stood a young, tall man. Ah! The girl screamed. It's the man from the field. Suddenly, little old Kate stuck her head out from behind the young man. What man in the field? Thomas, you better go check. Thomas? Who's Thomas? Lil asked, all out of breath. Thomas is my grandson, old Kate smiled. He's here visiting me for a while. Thomas, this is Carm, the green alien, and this is Lil, I'm supposed to be a deli pickle, but I ended up being a Spanish olive, Lil blushed. Everyone burst out laughing. Now, Thomas, you go check that field while I find out what these girls are doing here. Come inside. I have hot cider on the stove. 5 minutes later, Thomas was back in the house. Who was out there? Carm asked. They sure gave us a fright, and they didn't even have to say a word. Lil nodded in agreement. Well, Granny Kate, your old friend was doing his job, and he's really, really good at it, Thomas said. What do you mean? Lil asked. Granny Kate's old friend is her scarecrow, Thomas replied. But he's supposed to scare the crows, not children. Everyone laughed out loud again. Now, girls, what are you doing here? Kate asked. Well, they started. But with all the excitement, it took them a second to even remember. Finally, Carm spoke up. Well, we went to the deli and the sign said closed. You're never closed on a Saturday, and especially on Halloween. So we started to worry and decided to check on you. Aw, isn't that sweet? Isn't that sweet, Thomas? See, I told you the people in this town were wonderful. But girls, won't your parents worry? Lil slapped her forehead with the palm of her hand. Oh no, you're right. What time is it anyway? No worries, girls. You can call your parents from here and tell them to meet us at the deli, Kate said. The deli? Thomas asked. Yes, the deli. Thomas, please put the girls' bikes in the back of the truck. Then we'll take a ride to the deli. This little alien and this Spanish Olive will be needing some candy and some more hot cider. Old Kate grinned, pointing an arthritic finger at the girls. It was a finger with the bright red fingernail. And the nail wasn't broken, Carm observed. That would be the Halloween that Carm and Lil look back on with fond memories. It was definitely the most memorable. Now, I hope you could visualize Kate's farm, the scarecrow, the road with the ancient maple trees. So this is how I pictured it in my mind. We have our scarecrow here. Okay, here's the road they were riding their bike. Here's where they threw their bikes down at Kate's little old farmhouse. And all the ancient maples. And this here is the full moon that they could see by. Well, I hope you enjoyed my Halloween story, and I hope you have a fun Halloween night. Take care, everybody. I will be reading to you soon. Bye-bye.